Hi, I'm Damian D'Angelo, and I am the Corporate Supplier Security Lead for Raytheon, focused on the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause Compliance Program. You may know this program by its more official Department of Defense regulation title, Safeguarding Covered Defense Information and Cyber Incident Reporting, which is DFARS Subpart 204.73. But to keep things simple, I'll be referring to the key contract clause in Subpart 204.73, DFARS 252.204-7012, as the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause, or even simpler, the clause. The DoD has issued several versions of the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause over the past few years. For the purpose of this video, we will focus only on the final clause, which was issued in October 2016, and its implications for subcontractors supporting a prime contractor. First, we'll look at the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause and what it's all about. Next, we'll discuss the meaning of Covered Defense Information, or CDI, and why it's important to protect this type of information as required under the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause. This is a lot to cover in a short video, so I will only be able to share the highlight of each of these areas. I would like to mention that watching this video is no substitute for reading or understanding the clause, and also consulting with industry experts. Before we move on to today's topics, it is important to clarify that this video is not intended to be legal advice about DFARS Cybersecurity Clause. If you need legal advice, we recommend you reach out to your legal counsel. Let's start with a general overview of the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause. The clause is intended to protect controlled, unclassified information that supports performance of DoD contracts and resides on the prime or subcontractor's internal unclassified information system. It also mandates incident reporting and response requirements, as well as subcontractor flow-down requirements. The DoD has defined this particular type of unclassified information as Covered Defense Information, or CDI. A key takeaway for you is that this clause applies only to unclassified information systems. This means that classified systems do not fall under the purview of the DFARS Cybersecurity Clause and remain governed by the NIST Operating Manual, or NISPOM, which establishes the standard procedures and requirements for all government contractors with regards to classified information. In order for information to be considered CDI, the information needs to meet two conditions. First, it is unclassified, controlled technical information, or other information described in the Controlled Unclassified Information, or CUI registry, where safeguarding is required by law, regulation, or government-wide policy. If you would like to learn more about the CUI registry, we recommend you visit the CUI registry website. Second, the information is marked or otherwise identified in an agreement and provided to the contractor by or on behalf of the DoD in support of the performance of this agreement, or collected, developed, received, transmitted, used, or stored by or on behalf of the contractor, again in support of the performance of the agreement. While CDI can take many different forms, one of the more common types of CDI on contractor systems is controlled technical information that supports performance of a DoD contract. In order to explain what controlled technical information is, let's first talk about technical information. A few examples of technical information are shown on the screen. This is certainly not an exhaustive list, but it is intended to give you a general idea on what can be technical information. It is important to note that in order to be controlled technical information, it would need to meet the criteria that, if disseminated for distribution statements B through F using the criteria set forth in DoD Instruction 5230.24, distribution statements on technical documents. This is a good starting point for discerning if the information is CDI. Another common category is the export control category. Again, please consult your company's experts with specific questions. In addition, feel free to reach out to your point of contact at Raytheon for support and non-legal guidance when it comes to identifying CDI that may be part of a program contract you have with Raytheon.